Good morning, everyone. I'm here to do another repot with you guys. The orchids I will be repotting today are two Phalaenopsis type from Hauserman's Orchids. Um, as you can see, one is a Shirleyana and the other one is a, let me show you the tag. This is Phalaenopsis tying Shing Baby Smile. Sorry if this is moving. It's okay. But anyway, that's the one I'm gonna be repotting today, these two. And possibly I'll be repotting another orchid, but I'm not sure yet. But I will show her to you guys because I recently purchased it a couple days ago from a local grocery store. So it's another Phalaenopsis type, but I'll show you what color she is. But last time when I did my haul of my orchids, I didn't show you guys what my Phalaenopsis Shirleyana looks like. So let me show you her real quick before we start potting. So this is her, what she's supposed to look like. I'm sorry if the glare, yeah, that's the one that's her flower. That's what she should look like. But anyway, I want to have you guys come along and repot my orchids. So let's start with my Shirleyana. So I'm gonna pot her in this pot here. It's kind of shallow because she's kind of small still. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this one aside. And I have bark here that's been soaking for a couple days. And in it, I have my, what do you call it? Seaweed extract and calmac. So she's soaked and that's soaking right now. So, and I also have my shear here that I took the opportunity to go ahead and sterilize before I started. So, as you can see, this is in spike. And see how healthy the leaves are. And it's really, I'm really happy. And then the tag here is the Phalaenopsis Shirleyana. So I'm going to put that aside. And I'm sorry for the noise. My dogs are at it again. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and snip a little bit of this so we can take off the sleeve. And I need to be careful not to. So yeah, this is really, I'm really happy with this. So yes, so she's gonna sit in here like this. Hopefully she'll fit in there. But she's look like she's packing moss. So I'm gonna slowly push the moss up, or maybe I should push it down. Yeah, and the moss is wet, so I'm gonna slowly just go ahead and take off them. Also, I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about, I know the past couple times that I have done repotting. I haven't talked about the setback that your orchids that you're repotting possibly will go through. And the most common one is like this one, for example, is in moss. It could reject the bark that I will pot her in. And that's pretty normal because, you know, the Phalaenopsis or the orchid will have to adapt to its new environment. Now, if your roots die because due to the environment, that's okay because it'll replace those roots with a new roots that will adapt to the new environment that you're placing your orchids in. So it normally takes, well, from what my observation, it normally takes about 2 to 3 months for you to see new roots. And also, while those couple months, you may, when you water your orchids, you may want to push the media aside and see if any roots, if you have any roots that are dying, or to see if there's any roots appearing. And if you only see a couple of dead roots, that's fine. You can just leave it alone and wait for another month or so. And then when you water your orchids again, check for new roots or decaying roots. Then you may want to unpot your orchids because you want to remove those orchids that are, decay or rotten, so you don't spoil your media, especially if you put it in bark. If you put it in leca or lava rocks, you don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, you still want to remove those roots as well, just, not just because your media will spoil, but, for the health of your orchids as well. So that's something to keep in mind when you do repotting a new orchid into your, into your new environment, because it will adjust, and it will go through a little bit of shock, but for the most part, it may not go through shock. It may just love the new media that you're putting your orchids in. So I have that happen too, where my orchid didn't skip a beat, where it just went and enjoyed its new media, and I didn't have any diebacks or shock. So that's something to just also keep in mind, and that's regardless what media or medium you choose to put your orchids in, whether it's water culture or lava rocks or leca or, like me, bark. It will go through some type of setback or shock. So like I said, that's something to keep in mind as well. So that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about, you guys, is when you bring in a new orchid into your new environment, you will go through that. So just FYI. So yeah, it has plenty of good roots in this, for sure. But I want to remove all the moss that's inside, because I want my roots to be able to breathe. And because these roots are designed to have They don't like to be potted tightly, or because otherwise they'll die like this. Look, this is why you don't want moss. And if you do use moss, you want it to be potted loosely, not packed in like this. And a lot of nursery will do that because they are shipped all over the country, and that's one way for them to keep the orchids alive, because they do hold moisture and humidity. And so when you get them, I would recommend you repotting your orchids as soon as possible. It doesn't have to be that same day, but don't leave your orchids potted up like this, because you'll have a lot of diebacks. These orchids are designed to breathe, not compact like this. So that's my recommendation, and also that's my experience so far. Every time I get a new orchids, I repot them as soon as possible, because I have gone through enough experience where I just left it alone, and once I decided to repot it, I come across more issues than I should have. More roots dying, and you are left with next to nothing orchid roots in your orchids. So, and some people would say, don't repot your orchids when you get them home. And everybody, each of their own, but for those newcomers and my new subscriber, I'm just telling you my experience. And also another thing, it depends where you're located in the world. I'm located in Southern California, so technically I have a subtropical environment, meaning in the summertime it's hotter and drier, no humidity, but we do get a little bit of, we do get some cold here. And in my area, we get as cold, as, I would say about 30 degrees. So that's pretty cold, and depending how warm or how cold your house is, it will really depend your inside of your house as well too, not just outside. Like me, I grow my orchids all inside my house. I don't grow them outside because they would die, if they are outside, because in the summertime, I don't have no shade. And in the wintertime, there's no protection out there for them, So I grow my orchids inside the house. And I do wish I have not so much of a, what do you call it? A greenhouse. I wish for a screened-in porch, or a glass-in porch or patio, in my case, because I could keep it out there all year long, and that's what I wish for. But right now, it's not possible right now. So this is considered a dead root right here. I don't know if you can see that. This is a dead root, so I'm going to remove that. And one way to find out whether it's a dead root or is a dry root, as you can see, this one is pretty dry. And if it's, so we want to cut that. And just by feeling the roots, if they feel mushy, they're dead. And so you just want to make sure you... And sometimes you can get away with leaving it, you know, the dry roots in there. But for the most part, I take them out because when you water them, they'll rot, and you don't want that either. So let's remove that. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that, you know, just in case you're not aware, you know, especially if you're a newcomer to orchid hobby. And I myself are pretty new into orchid hobby myself. I'm still learning, and I have subscribed to other channels on here, and just watch other people as well. And I find orchid hobby is really, it's really fun for me anyway. It just gives me something to do because, like I mentioned, my last video, oops, slipped. My youngest daughter, she's moving out after Thanksgiving. So at the end of this month, she found herself a job in Arizona. She graduated from college, so she's ready to be on her own. And it's just gonna be me and my husband here. I have 3 kids, and they're all grown now. Like I mentioned before, my eldest daughter, she lives in Texas. She has her life there as well. And she tries to come down here whenever she can. But, you know, with the pandemic right now, it's just, you know, it's hard. So, surprisingly, this Phalaenopsis here, she has pretty much healthy roots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you guys, and I will sanitize these roots, and I will be back. So let me show you guys the roots, how it looks for now. And I will pause you guys, and I'll be back. All right. So here we are. I have cleaned up my Phalaenopsis, and as you can see, the roots has greened up, and so I will pot her up in this container right here. And it's kind of shallow, but I think she'll be fine, I think. And I'll just repot her again if I need to, you know. And no, I'm having second thoughts now because it is shallow, and I thought she would be fine here, but I think she needs a a bigger pot. So I think I will pause you guys again and I will get a bigger pot. One sec. Okay, I found a little bit bigger pot, or, not as shallow. So she's gonna stay in this, and I will put a little bit of moss in the bottom, just a little bit, not too much, just to give it some moisture and a little bit of humidity. And so here we are. I'm going to place her in there first, so that way it'll be a lot easier when I put the then I have to make sure that she's not too deep in there either. So I want to keep her up like that. So let's start putting bark in there. There we go. There, see. So is everyone ready for Thanksgiving? My son will be coming down for Thanksgiving, and that's the only one. That's the only guest we're gonna have is my son and my daughter. My eldest one, she's not gonna be able to come because she's across Texas. So, okay, let's shake that off for a bit. I thought I would use a cardboard instead of my other yellow container that I normally use. Just try this out. It's just like cardboard. Make sure we shake it really good. There we go. And alrighty then, we have our first orchid all potted up, and she looks great. Let me put a little bit more here on this side. I think she's good. Well, I hope she's going to be happy in her new home, and there we go. She's all potted up. And we're going to put her aside and put her label. So I haven't experienced something like this since 1997, where November is still kind of warm. So, yeah, this is fairly healthy, so I'm I am really amazed. I am really happy with this. This is really, really great. So I think I got majority of the moss out now. So since this one doesn't have a lot of root like my Shirleyana, I think I will pot her in this one, this small one, or shallow actually. So I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep her here since she doesn't have a lot of roots yet. I'm gonna use this one for this one. So yeah. Okay, well I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause you guys for a sec so I can sterilize this and also clean this up a little bit. So I'll see you a bit. All right, I am back. So like I said before I pause you guys, I will pot her in the shallow pot since she doesn't have a lot of root. So what I'm going to do is, 1 second, I'm going to put a little bit of moss in the bottom. So that's it. And then I'm going to put her, I'll make sure her roots, is right there. Make sure I kind of center her and then raise her up a little bit so she's not quite. There we go. I think she's good like that. I think I don't like this cardboard doing this repotting. I think I'm going to go back to my plastic container because it's absorbing water. But the good thing about this is I could just toss it in a recycling bin and not worry about it, but at the same time I don't like it. I want to make sure she's not buried too deep in there. She needs to come up a little bit because there. And then I have to put her stake up so she's not wobbly. I think I need some more here. I may have to repot her and maybe in a couple months because this pot is a little shallow. And she is, she is growing regrowth. And she's already, her roots is already sticking in the hole. I don't know if you can see that. See, it's sticking in the hole already. Okay, just a little more. And I think I'm done with this anyway. So, okay, I want to stake. So I'm just going to use her 2 of her stake so she doesn't wobble too much. And I have to be careful where I put. So here. And then here. I'm going to use this other one here. Try to get as close as possible. Okay, and there. Okay, she's good, I think. Alrighty then. So that is the repot. So where's the other one here? Let me show you the other one. I will get a sleeve for them. So there they are. Let me show you guys a little bit. So there. So they're all repotted. So let me pause this and I will show you guys my new addition to my orchid collection. One sec. Alrighty then. So here is my new addition to my orchid collection. I bought this this past Saturday. And I don't know if you can see that. This past Saturday, and in our local grocery store. So I just wanted to share it with you guys. And let me bring the flower closer. You see? Isn't she beautiful? I have something similar to this, but she hasn't spiked lately. And her flower is not as big as this, my other one that I have. Her flower is a bit bigger than this. Let me put my hand close to it so you can see the size. See? Yeah, my other purple Phalaenopsis, she hasn't been in bloom since 2017. And her flower was huge. It was like the size of my hand, actually. And she was solid purple. She didn't have any other coloration to her. It was a solid purplish. So anyway, I need to repot her as well. So let me adjust you guys again, and sorry if I'm making you feel dizzy, but I need to adjust it. So so let's unpot her, and let me show you what I want to see what she looks like under there. So let me adjust that some more. There we go. So I wanted to see what her roots look like. I mean, she's in her sleeve right now. Let me see if I can grab her. There we go. Oh, she has there's there. Okay, so this is what her roots look like. She looked like she's fairly healthy from the looks of it. She has plenty of green roots. So I took already opportunity to go ahead and sanitize this. So I'm gonna clip it a little bit. Uh-oh. I trimmed the root by accident. So she's fairly packed in moss. And it's okay that I lost that one root or cut it off by accident, because she has plenty of healthy roots. And there we go. Yeah, this one, oh my goodness, it's soggy, wet. So I'm glad I decided to repot this now. If I waited any longer, it probably won't be as good. So yeah, she's also packed in moss. Yeah, another Phalaenopsis, right? My husband made a comment to me when I bought this. All he could say, go ahead. Oh, no. 1 second. 1 second, you guys. All right, I'm sorry about that. My phone was ringing. So I have to see who it is. But no one special. So let's continue on with removing the media on this. Yeah, I picked a really good one too. Yeah, when you go to, for those newcomer on my YouTube channel, thank you for coming and watching this video. It really helps my channel to grow, and with your support, I really appreciate it. And if you guys starting your new orchid collection, and if you're starting like a lot of us, start with a Phalaenopsis orchids from a grocery store. Make sure you pick a really healthy as possible as far as orchid goes. And the way I would tell you how to pick it is how many leaves there are, for one thing. And then if you can see into the plastic, see how much roots are inside the plastic sleeve. And if you see a lot of green roots, that's a good one. And also, if you can't see it in there, go based on, again, how many leaves there are, and also the aerial roots. These are aerial roots right here. This is considered. So if you see a few of those, that's a good one to get from the store. And also, so I'm back. So here are my orchids that I have repotted. I hope you guys enjoyed my video and stuck around to watch the whole thing. I really appreciate it. Those who are newcomers to my channel, thank you very much. And also those who have been following with me for a while since I started my YouTube, thank you as well. And I will be doing another repot of Hauserman orchids. I have 2 more. So expect that for the, I guess maybe next week sometime. I will be repotting that as well. So till then, happy growing, you guys, and thank you so much. You have a good one. Till then, bye for now.